Hello and welcome back to Hearthside, episode 16. I'm so excited. We are going to do what I said I was going to do last time, and we're going to build on some buildings that are, first drafts. I got so excited to build that inn back there. Look at that. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's sweet. It's comfortable. And we are going, and those rooms, I got so absorbed in finishing things that I didn't do the first drafts that I said I was going to do. Oops. Either which way, we are going to go about doing that. Let's get started. So we know about the library, we've gotten this, we've gotten the storage up, we've gotten we have not gotten the blacksmith, we have that set up. We did get the infirmary, we got the inn, we have the graveyard. Now we can do the library, a music store, an armory, jail, and a few more big houses, probably. I'm a little irritated with myself. I went and I just got villagers from another place and kind of was like, yes, please come with me. And, I could have just made this and people would have shown up. And I could have controlled the population a little bit easier had I considered just, having men or having only women in the village at first, in the very beginning. But instead, we learn from oh my goodness, you're in the floor. How? Why? What happened? Oh no. And I can't lift it. This is not great. How did you get here? Why are you here? Is it... Cool. I'm gonna take this area apart and rebuild it. I'll be back. I will be back and find out why and how that happened. And we may park our airship above that portion. I think certain things just shoved down on the actual airship. So, yes. We will fix that together in just a minute. Oh. Yeah, I know. Oh, goodness. Right. At least that was easier than I thought it was going to be. So. Rank. Next up, we're gonna need 1,200 hearts to reach a population of 20, which we have not yet. The good news is my villagers breed fast, and I'm going to have to make more beds. Build an armory and a library. So, let's talk about all of the other buildings. We're going to start with the armory and library since that will rank us up. And yes. So what we need for a library and an armory are a space for them, a roof, doors, that sort of thing. So, let's find where my saw and my cranks are and get this area cleared. Ooh, I also probably am wanting to lower this, like I said. Well, I think that's as many trees as I want to clear. Now, let's make something interesting. I want to make a wand of symmetry because that would cut the breaking time down by quite a bit here. So let's talk about it. The wand of symmetry is a very nice piece. That's about what it sounds like. It mirrors block placement while present in any hotbar slot. You can create a mirror, you can remove an active mirror, but we will need these things. We'll need the precision mechanism, a brass ingot, obsidian, and ender pearl glass. So about 7 of those we'll be able to make a Wand of Symmetry arranged in this fashion. Since we already have those mechanical crafters over near my water wheels that made my potato cannon, Chase has arrived at the end. Nice. Hello, Chase. Welcome. Hope you have a nice stay. But because we have this already... Wait, has anybody died? I should check. So far that I'm seeing, everybody's alive in the village if they survived here. So there's 7 here. Perfect. All we have to do is rearrange these. So let's talk about the Wand of Symmetry. There are a lot of useful portions of this, but I'm going to be using a specific one. So we can mirror along a z-axis or an x-axis. We can do a rectangular one, and we can do an octagonal one. And the rectangular, you can either do orthographic or diagonal. Now that's a whole lot of nonsense to say, but what I'm going to do is show you what some of these mean. We're going to do the mirroring, the regular mirroring first. In order to dismiss this, you want to point at the sky, or apparently directly at the sun in my case. So, in order to change right now I have it on the orthographic or the octagonal. We're going to do the mirror once. You shift and click the place where you placed it. There we go. Now you can see that the mirror is like this, so if I went and broke a block over here, another block, if there were one, would break on the same side. So let's break one close to the mirror so that you can see it. See? Beautiful, right? Makes things very easy on clearing large spaces out. Same thing with rectangular. So let's go here, and it will break one on all of the sides. See that? Now orthographic, or the octagonal, is even more so. So let's go all the way out here. Bam. You can make circles very easily this way. For instance, like this. And from the top you can see, whoop, it's leaving that sort of trail. So we're going to clear this area using this piece and making it a lot simpler on myself because holy moly, this is going to take a minute. I do want you to be able to see this house from outside. I know I was going to have this path be overlaid with waterfalls and such, but I'm just feeling that the library should be a little bit lower and probably a very visible landmark from outside town or close by. So, I'm going to get that started. Stay up there, airship. Don't dig yourself down into the ground again, please. So I'm going to get started on that and bring you back in. And we're just going to go all the way down here. I don't remember how far that thing can go. Actually, we're going to go over here. And just start digging. Wait. I don't want to accidentally cut into that place. It would be very easy to accidentally do it. So we're going to do where we can see and go from the top down. Wally and Ryan made another baby, so my population has gone up. That's helpful. Hopefully it doesn't die. Hopefully it doesn't have any problems. So we're going to clear this space down here. And you see those sparkles? It indicates that it's still working from as far away as it is. And unfortunately, the Wand of Symmetry does not work with things like drills or contraptions. Those are by itself. Sorry, I got totally distracted. I'm collecting so much dirt, as you can see, that I don't really want to just, destroy it. And creating grass blocks is one of the more useful things for me, because if I start making floating islands that actually, float, then I'm going to need to have grass blocks to, you know, perpetuate grass blocks. Like, you know. You guys know what I'm talking about. But it's great that I can automatically make those that way because for real. Also, mud blocks are going to be great to make. So back to that grind. I'm going to be at it for a little bit. Gila, you seem like you're walking slow, but you're pretty happy. You can tell that this is mostly hollowed out. This is something I did want to point out, though, with the Wand of Symmetry. For instance, you can see a lot of dirt is gone, but the grass blocks remain. It's because the Wand of Symmetry will match up blocks. So I carved out stone on one side, it left the coal on the other. It's a little bit of cleanup you'll have to do, but that is just fine by me. I'm wanting to just get the basics in at the moment. And clear a large area with the help of the Wand of Symmetry and then move right along and cleaning it up. The good news is that means you can control a lot on how it hits and where it hits. So if you don't want to accidentally carve out an area that you've made, you make it out of anything but the natural stuff that's already there, and you should be fine. Also, pay attention to placement of it. Of course, that's understandable when you're doing something symmetrical, when you're making something, but for some people, like me, forgetting that you placed it in an area and then carving into an entirely different area isn't something I haven't experienced myself. I have done that. Been surprised at where I'm carving into. Right, and as you can see, we've got some major cleanup to do, but at least we didn't end up touching our house, and we cleared this so much faster than what we would originally be clearing, the pacing we'd be clearing it at. So let's see. Now take a look at that mini-map. If you ever wanted to make an octagon or geometric shapes in Minecraft easily, Wand of Symmetry is the way to do it. Granted, I'm going to have to take that out, but now I've got a better idea of where I can cut down stuff. Right, so we can see what a mess this is on the corner, but we can also see the potential. Look at this. Honestly, you could make some incredible structures with this and not have at all a really, terrible vibe with it. I might clean up that later, this portion, but we're gonna carve right into it for now and do some cleanup. Ooh, I missed some trees over here. I'm gonna take those down. I straight up love the Wand of Symmetry. Look at this noise. If I want to erect something this big without a problem, then I could, like, this has taken me 2 hours. Luckily, though, I'm not erecting anything. I am tearing stuff down, so I don't have to worry about getting anything really nice. Just down. Oh, I put that right on that line, didn't I? That is funny. Wow, we are definitely carving right into this area, and I'm kind of okay with it. I liked the mountains nestling us in most of the way, but now I'm ready to start really playing with some ideas. Ooh, that's another bit of advice I would like to give for those of you who are wanting to use the Wand of Symmetry. Use stone tools, don't use your mending items, your really nice items, because it will just rip them apart. It's so quick on durability because, as you can tell, for every block you break, for instance, if I break this one and I break 4 at the same time, it's going to take that durability from you. And you can definitely tell with all those lines that it is breaking multiple blocks at once. And just watch it, watch it. Whoo. So, I just put a tool swapper on my backpack and slam into and just make a bunch of stone tools. And sometimes that happens and you have to get into your backpack and switch it anyway. But This is, in my opinion, the easiest way of doing things. Somebody else may have a better idea. For instance, we could use mystical agriculture and make tools that simply don't have our durability, but I'm not ready for that. That is a lot of mental... Marquis came to the inn? Oh, it doesn't even show it. But their name was Marquis, and you know, I kind of adore that. That's pretty legit right there. Holy moly, that took a while. Now, why this big? Why this big? This is an intense amount of largeness, and it also cuts into my outside area. I will fix that. Oh. Somebody passed Walter. Who is Walter? Well, we can find out if he's an adventurer by getting our staff and reviving him. Get up. You guys are gonna make me have to do a lot more work in resummoning that dang Grim and getting the Wither back up. If you're an adventurer, so help you God. Oh my god, it's a baby. Betting you're Julie's baby. Ryan and Wally. Never mind, you're not Julie's baby. You're Ryan and Wally's baby. As usual. Stop making kids, y'all. Sorry, Walter. Can't see anything. God, you're cute. It's also really scary how far you turn your head around. Child, look at how cute you are. I've got one more use on that Staff of Life. Jeez, that's big. It's not gonna look like that. It's not gonna look like that by the end, I promise you. Right, so I said I was just gonna get started on a small library piece and, you know, make something quick, and I cleared a mountain. So sometimes inspiration strikes. Let me take you up here and show you what I've done. I knew I wanted a courtyard. And I knew around these kind of grassy areas where these other paths are, I want several structures for our library. But for now, we'll just need to look at what the library absolutely needs. And we will put those things in. Sometimes inspiration strikes and you can't stop it. I wanted this house to be more exposed in a way, but I also wanted this library to have very big space. I wanted to feel like it just was a massive, interesting structure, but I want a gazebo in the middle, and we may remove the part of the table, like right down here in the center, and have another portion of the library that had the gazebo that has a sort of center structure so that I can make the rest of the library, besides just the actual pieces that tell these villagers that this is a place for them to study, I may put mystical agriculture and make it into a botanical library. I plan on, of course, I wanted moss here because it was so green and so lush. And it doesn't change to this kind of yellowed brown color. We will have a lot of different, maybe little streams through here and such to make it feel very inviting and comfortable. And studying in a nature place is just a lot better, isn't it? It can help you focus. So, I feel like we're going to grab our blueprint. We're going to see what it says on the library. We need 32 bookshelves and a lectern, very much like making an enchanting room. And in order for us to have it register as a library, we're just going to make sure to add a roof and a door. I'm going to make it very, very, very simple, and we'll use the wand of symmetry to just kind of get a space in. So we're going to go off this center point over here and hit right about there. Ooh, not quite that. We will use the octagonal type again, and I'll just have to play with it and see where we go with it. We may make just a series of relatively smaller towers, but we will see. So let's get our bookshelves first off. We've got a bunch of books. And we're gonna take, it said 32, so we're gonna take 10. We need more. Of course, we need more planks. We've got 38, that'll do, and a lectern. There we are. Let's add it right here. Remove building, add a room, and there we are. Our library is up and running, and our town slowly is expanding. Look at all those spaces. Look at what we've built together. Isn't this wonderful? Oh, I'm so happy. This is going to be amazing. I cannot wait, because in the end, that little shack right there is going to be incorporated in a large, I think, stone to kind of offset. We have a lot of stone over here and whatnot. We have a lot of stone in the back. We can incorporate a little bit more stone in this area. Ooh, stone and glass. Are we thinking kind of a solar punk vibe? I'm thinking stone, glass, a whole lot. These grew so fast. A whole lot of just machinery that moves up through these buildings, and then a series of these small little library spaces on the bottom floor. And then just beautiful stairways up and giving us all of the mystical agriculture plants that we could ever want. So now, let's check our rank. There it is, build a library. It's taken care of. Wonderful. I'm gonna need to go around and, before I gave them diamonds, but I gave them, well, all of my diamonds, and now there's 15 of them. I may have at one point had 16 or 17, but people get lost. I will say this, at one point Trine got lost in a cave, and Michael thought that, thought that she passed. So he was widowed for a bit there, and then he got married again to somebody else. I'm not sure who. They probably don't live with them. Is there anyone climbing these mountains? Yes, there's someone out here. One of our adventurers. All in red. Hi. Sharanda, a cultist? Interesting. But I have questions. Trade? A baby Serban baby. I think I am going to trade with you. Yes. And I'm going to take as many children as you'll give me. You'll give me one? I have a crib. And let's take a look at the Serban babies. I don't know what that means. I believe they were a previous generation of villagers. This place is already filled, I'm pretty sure, with children. But you can just grow up here. That's fine. Here you are. Wait, how do you work? Because I've never seen you lay down like that. Very, very well. So, we're going to take a moment here and be excited about our upcoming library. We are going to work on the armory in just a little bit, after we clear some of these trees, of course. And I think I like where the armory is going to be. Oh no, is somebody stuck? That's a pig. Thank goodness. Okay. I may want to cover up this giant cave area, but this is something we'll talk about later on. However, I put the armory across right here, and we will clear this top portion, give it a little bit more heft and space, add the small points that we need to. The armory needs what? Is that the armory? Yep. A smithing table, an anvil, and a grindstone. All the expected things. It upgrades the guard's default armor, which is going to be quite nice. Let's see how we're looking on our rank. We're still sitting at 195, and our population has gone up because of our new baby. Let's get that armory going, though. We need a grindstone. Oh goodness, what did we need? Smithing table, anvil, and grindstone. And I'm going to finally show you what I intended on doing with all of these buildings. You saw how small the little library is. I intend on making all of these buildings as basic as humanly possible. That's the intent. We'll see how far I get with that, because the last time I said I was going to do that, I leveled a mountain. So believe me when I say you can't trust me, I will lie to you. That's just what I'm doing. I'm lying to you consistently. You love me anyway, though, right? And in fact, I'm going to force myself to make this into a very, very, very simple mud house with a door. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do that with all of the rest of the buildings that are required. Dark oak, dark oak, dark oak door. Oh, am I out of dark oak planks? You know how I am, guys. It's going to have to be dark oak. It matches everything else in the city. And let's get started on that mud hut. Yeah, mud hut. And we will just place our anvil, smithing table, and grindstone in here. And a door. And we will add this building. There's our armory. Yay! So for our rank, we just need to up our hearts and reach a population level of 20. So I think I also need to consider building another big house. Maybe I should put it here and just, yeah, families like to live together. Unfortunately, I keep putting everyone into the bunker. That's where they start. That's where they begin. It's something that I can understand easily. There we are. Now, according to our villagers, we have a lot more bedrooms, so hopefully they will breed up. We just need 3 more villagers. Now, somebody did just arrive at the inn, so we could go check that out. So now we have a very terrible armory, a new big house that's also horrific, a library that's less than reasonable than what I want, and a whole lot of work to do throughout town. Oh, look at everyone gathering up. Hello. Dwight is now happily a leather worker. And we have a population of 20 and rank. We are mayor now. Oh no, we need to build our blacksmith. I see, we are not quite to king level yet. That is perfectly fine. Next time, we will get to king, or something close, maybe the next rank, whatever that ends up being. I am so excited. We are now a mayor. I'm gonna complete those buildings. We will work with those together. And then, finally, I'm excited to get back into Create. Not gonna lie, I could deal with machines a little bit better than people. Thank you for joining me today. See you next time.